Ah, that's better. Hi there, and welcome to Ian's Engage channel. I'm Ian. In previous videos I've highlighted the problems I've had with running my Graham Farish sound-fitted Class 08 shunter with factory weathering. In this video I'm going to show you how I tried to fix the problems affecting the temperamental little loco. However, firstly, I have to say a huge thank you to everyone who has helped me try and identify the fault with this loco. I've had fabulous responses on several of my videos where I've highlighted the problems with the loco, and I'd just like to say a big thank you to everyone for taking the time to give feedback and advice, which has enabled me to try and get to the bottom of why the loco has been acting up. Okay, so let's get to it. You may remember that in my rolling road video I spotted what looked like some weathering overspray on the wheel flanges of the loco. Weathering overspray was something that Peter Jackson of Cheadle Heath had commented that he'd also encountered on his own model, so that's where I began the investigation. I purchased a Pico loco cradle to aid me in carrying out the inspection, so I started with the loco inverted in the cradle. It's difficult to see here, but the overspray wasn't only confined to the wheel flanges, but was also present on the back of the wheels and to a smaller extent the bottom of the wheels too. Turning to feedback from your good selves, I used a cotton bud soaked in isopropyl alcohol to gently wipe the affected areas. And then used a clean cotton bud to wipe away the residue. I had to keep taking the loco to the track to power the wheels so I could move them, thus work my way around the whole of each wheel. However, I soon had all traces of the overspray removed, which was great. While I had the loco in the cradle, I also carried out some further maintenance work. John of Piccadilly Model Railways had left me a very comprehensive list of things for me to try, so that's what I launched into next. While I was cleaning the backs of the wheels, I'd also gently cleaned the pickups, using the same method with the cotton bud soaked in IPA. I knew there were no tight spots in the mechanism from running the loco on the rolling road, but it was a good thing to check. Next I checked that the pickups were touching the wheel backs by moving the axles backwards and forwards in the chassis, and I thought they were all in constant contact. However, this is when I noticed this fella simply hanging about in mid-air. It's not the greatest of pictures, but you can definitely see the pickup is pointing in the wrong direction. I'm not sure how I'd missed this, but it was definitely loose and wobbling around all over the place, so maybe I was just lucky to catch it in this position. I'm afraid I couldn't get any good video of me fixing this. As with camera, tripod, lights, tweezers, pliers and hands, there simply wasn't any room to manoeuvre, so the camera and the tripod had to be removed while I bent, tugged, pushed, pulled and generally manipulated the errant pickup back into position. I was both happy and relieved that it seemed to stay in place when I next jiggled the axle, and that it kept in contact with the wheel back rather than falling off. I was now pretty confident that I'd done everything I could physically do to ensure that the loco would run without dismantling it further. Oh, and just in case anyone was worried about the remnants of the cotton bud finding their way into the mechanism, I was hoovering them up pretty much constantly. To be honest, I'd wanted to take the base keeper plate off the loco to give me better access to the backs of the wheels and the pickups. But despite having instructions for lubricating the axles and the connecting rods and for removing the body shell to fit a DCC decoder, there was no mention of how to remove the base keeper plate in the instructions. This made me a little nervous about taking the loco apart, as I didn't know what to expect after removing the 3 screws. It was very tempting though. However, as you can probably understand, being a novice at this sort of thing, I was frightened of doing more harm than good. Anyway, I'd already decided that if the maintenance work I'd carried out hadn't fixed the problem, then I'd be returning my temperamental little friend to the retailer or manufacturer for them to fix it or replace it. So, it was soon time to test the loco on the layout. This was both nerve-wracking and exciting at the same time. Would it work? Would it keep working? Had I fixed its temperamental ways? Let's find out. Right, so here you see it running over the combination of points in Ledgetown Quarry Yard where it has had problems on multiple occasions. I have to say that no fingers were used in the movement of this little loco other than for keeping them crossed, and this is one continuous clip that can be inferred from the sound. So, hurrah! The maintenance work seems to have done the trick. It was a true Christmas miracle. So, once again, thank you ever so much to everyone who has provided feedback and advice. I finally have the loco I thought I'd bought thanks to you guys. Okay, so that's about it for this update, and hopefully brings to an end the saga of the temperamental Class 08. I think I'm going to take a break from posting videos for a few weeks, but I'll be back in the new year with some major updates. In the meantime, thanks very much for watching, and I wish you all a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Bye.